Atlantic School of Theology is a unique institution. It's a small graduate school of theology. We have about 150 students. We're large enough to be able to offer a really highly developed program. On the other hand, we're small enough to actually care for each other and be aware of the individual needs of students and to be responsive to that. The majority of our students are training for some sort of ministry, either congregational ministry of one sort or another, or chaplaincy, or youth work, those sorts of ministries. We also have students here who are studying theology just because they want to study theology, or with the intention of going on and doing further studies, doctoral studies afterwards. It's unique because of its ecumenical character. We're a single school that contains within ourselves three founding denominations: Roman Catholic, Anglican, and United Church of Canada. And because of our ecumenical character, we attract students of many other denominations and even sometimes of other faiths into the life of the school. So it's a very diverse school, but it's a school where we also celebrate particular traditions and particular identities. The United Church, in a way, is the historic ecumenical church of Canada. I mean, where we sit now used to be a Presbyterian school of theology, and in 1925 they brought together the theology faculty from the Methodist school at Mount Allison with the Presbyterian faculty on this campus to form a new United Church school. So that ecumenical thrust has always been here.
The MDiv degree is by its nature, it has to be very diverse because the ministry, word, sacrament, and pastoral care is going to necessarily be diverse. So you're going to be doing courses in preaching, courses in worship and liturgy, courses in pastoral care. And part of that reality is you're not just going to be in a classroom, you're going to be in the church, hopefully for the rest of your life. So there is supervised field education programs that we have to complete, which means that I would spend some time working with local pastoral charges within my own tradition under a supervisor in conjunction with the school.
Tutor us in the fine art of prayerful listening, so that we may lovingly watch over your creation with your compassionate awareness.
Certainly the field education sites for SFE are really great because you get to be in a church for 8 hours a week and work one-on-one with a supervisor who talks you through a lot of stuff and is really helpful, but plus being in a congregation really gives you the hands-on experience of ministry.
I think the great thing about AST in the first instance is that it's a really wonderful community of people with whom to study. Both the student body and I think the faculty and staff really intentionally create an environment where it's a very supportive place for people to study.
Classes are small, which means you get to know your professors really well. It's close, it's intimate, it's challenging, and you learn a lot, which is kind of everything I'd hoped for in the MDiv, not to mention it's very practical.
Especially for United Church students, I always suggest AST because of the fact that through Pine Hill, as one of our founding parties, funding is basically granted for anybody who's a United Church candidate here at the school.
In terms of funding, those who come to AST to study within the MDiv program as United Church candidates receive a tuition bursary. There's also some supplementary funding available for living allowance and book allowances and things like that. And that applies both to the on-campus students and those who study in the summer distance program. And then AST itself has some other scholarships and bursaries available. So overall, it's actually one of the most generous packages available, if not the best package in the whole country.
The school's given me a lot of practical experience that became very important. In your classroom, you're surrounded by people most days of the week who are from different traditions, carry very different theologies, have very different opinions. You have to communicate really well and understand and appreciate where others are coming from. If I didn't have that training, I wouldn't be able to lead in community at my church. The reality is that the people in our pews that you're going to meet are going to be from different traditions and maybe not just your own. So you want to be prepared not just as, a communicator or a good preacher or somebody who's good in worship, but you want all those things. And you want, at the end of the day, to be a good community leader. And AST is profound in the way that it shapes community leadership because of the nature of community in our school.
The faculty is wonderful, the community is great, Halifax is beautiful.
The people here they're very friendly, very welcoming.
There's definitely a great sense of community here.
even as a part-time student.
It's like a family, that sense of togetherness and the sense of community.
It's a really formative and life-giving Christian environment, so it's just great.
It's an exciting place to be.